Making music is my passion. If I wasn't doing that, I'd be back in the gutter. Study, I'ma figure out where the cash is. Trying to get me a new rent from my mother. I feel the pain and I gotta outlast it. I got the chance and might not get another. I'm whipping me up a new album, it's classic. Drop me a banger to end out the summer. Me and my brother, we go back to back and he put me on top like. Making music is my passion. If I wasn't doing that, I'd be back in the gutter. Study, I'ma figure out where the cash is. Trying to get me a new rent from my mother. I feel the pain and I gotta outlast it. I got the chance and might not get another. I'm whipping me up a new album, it's classic. Drop me a banger to end out the summer. Me and my brother, we go back to back and he put me on top like we Thugger and Gunner. Alright, as usual, we ain't gonna waste no time. Like, subscribe, comment. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Been getting a lot of views, a lot of comments from all of you guys. Greatly appreciate it. Let's run these numbers up. Share this so we could get people involved in this conversation. So let's get into it. You guys see the title. This looks like it's going to be a crazy one. Let's go.
A lot of people get mad at me when I say that rap is quite possibly one of the worst things that ever happened to the Black community.
That's a fact.
And then it's funny because
you can't really argue that. Like that's a fact.
I see you, right? And you are in a lot of people's minds a breath of fresh air because you finally are one of the people that's willing to stand up and tell the truth, right? But we celebrate rappers for selling us the things that are worse for us. And they do all of the gun talk and the killing and the influence of kids and things like that, so on and so forth. How it is that we even learn to look at women and have sex and things like that. And then
do drugs and everything. We don't know nothing about drugs until the rapper tells us.
Correct.
But then it's hypocritical because you'll get rappers like Future that say, I don't even really do drugs like that. You'll get rappers that talk about gun toting and shooting up blocks and all of this, and they never did none of that a day in their life. You could just tell by the way that they sound that they are not from the streets. They did not come from this. They did not grow up in this environment. These kids grew up in the suburbs and nice areas. They were good kids in school. But they start making these raps all of a sudden about all of this street shit that they never lived. And our kids digest this and they take it as law. They start to believe these people and they start to want to emulate these people. And that's what leads to the downfall. So I agree that rap probably delivered the hardest blow next to welfare in the Black community.
A lot of people,
they are our teachers. They used to have the poor righteous teachers.
Yeah.
They the poor righteous teachers. You say you get a lot of flack for saying that it's possibly one of the rap music and crack running. Rap music, gang banging, and crack. First, second, third place in the nigga Olympics for destruction. If there's a nigga Olympics for destruction,
nah, see, I gotta throw welfare in there. I have to, because it removed a lot of fathers, but the crack era also removed a lot of fathers. Emulating the music removed a lot of fathers, because a lot of the shooters wind up being the guys with the most kids. It's the guy with 7 kids by the freaking 6 women that wind up dead because he's been out here shooting blocks up like that. That's usually just how it works. And now these kids are just out here fatherless. So he's absolutely right. I would just add one more thing to the list.
Crack and rap music and gang banging, one of them have to duck their head to win the race. So you see on that race, motherfucker, and one of them, whoever ducked their head and crossed that line, all of them shoulder to shoulder. Well, whoever ducked that head, that's all one. Whoever, that's where we at. We can't pick out of them 3, homie. We don't know which one of them done is bad.
Rap,
crack, and gang banging.
It's facts.
All arrived in the 80s.
You would get a lot of pushback from people that said that added rap music in there.
Man, listen, those 3 components is worse than slavery, Jim Crow, and mass incarceration. So if you had rap, crack, and gangbanging over here, you got slavery, Jim Crow, and mass incarceration over here, and they had a 3-on-3 basketball game. Crack, rap, and gang banging might win by 2.
Might win? Damn, I never thought about it like that. They would win. Because they were able to do what slavery and Jim Crow and the rest of that couldn't do, and that was destroy the family structure. We were still getting married, we were still building wealth, we still held all of the skills during the Renaissance eras, during the steel eras, during all of these great times where America was really being built. Black people were doing just fine, and then here comes the introduction of the 3 things that he named, and sure enough, it degraded the community to no other. I don't remember my grandparents telling me anything about a whole lot of violence when they were growing up. Like, they don't have stories of shootouts. They don't have stories of things going crazy. They have stories of little fights, little bar fights, little knuckle ups between men. But we weren't half as violent as we were today. We were way more family oriented. We were way more in tune with each other. And when those 3 things he named came along, it destroyed all of that very quickly. That's the scary part, is how quickly it took effect.
They might win by 2.
Why do we celebrate rappers then? Like, because it's funny, because even in no snitching culture, right? I've always believed that no snitching had nothing to do with citizens, with people that didn't do it.
No, it didn't.
My understanding,
it didn't.
Not that it didn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. If you are not in a gang, if you are not out here in these streets, if you ain't hustling, if you ain't kicking people's doors in, that no snitching shit does not apply to you. And that's what I mean about this new era of children that's growing up that have no men around them to explain these things to them. Now everything is snitching. Now, if you in the car with your mans, you have no idea he got the blick on him. He throw the blick underneath the seat, so everybody in the car got to go to jail. If one of the dudes inside of the car is a college student, he's just hanging out with this guy, he has no idea he got the blick on him. If he tells on the guy whose gun it was, now all of a sudden he's snitching. How? He's not involved in any street business. And why are you willing to ruin his record because you don't want to be a man and accept responsibility for the shit that you did? The shit that you did. Like, I grew up in the era where 3 of us got arrested. 1 of us went to jail. 3 of us get arrested. We decide which one of us is going to take this. The other 2 go free. And I'll see you guys in a couple of years. That's what we grew up on. Accept responsibility for what you did. And if somebody does not want to accept the responsibility for your mistake, that's not snitching. That's smart.
Of it was that
that's niggas committing crime. That's me and you doing something. That's all of us doing something. Those rules apply to us. But we start putting it I don't know what made them niggas start bringing the street rules to the household. I don't know what.
Prison. Guys coming home from prison that's teaching this to their children, and then they teach it to their wives, and then their wives teach it to the children, and then they teach it to their friends, and now you have a never-ending cycle of nonsense that doesn't even involve snitching. It just involves, I'm not accepting responsibility for your crime. Now all of a sudden that's snitching. I could understand if we commit the crime together, but if I had no parts in whatever you had going on, and that guy is a regular civilian, decides to tell on you, he is not a snitch. You shouldn't have been doing crime with somebody that wasn't a criminal. That's like rule number 1 to being a criminal. And you guys failed miserably in the criminal course. You guys never made it to honors criminality. You guys were stuck in basic criminal. And even in basic criminal, it tells you not to do crime with non-criminals. And if you do crime with non-criminals, they are liable to tell on you, and it's not snitching. If the old lady across the street was looking out of her window when you was breaking into a car and she identifies you, she didn't snitch. She did not snitch. That is crazy.
What made them niggas start bringing the street rules to the schoolhouse? That come from rap and gangs.
Yeah.
Because boys started getting in gangs. And crack. Because now they start giving kids drugs to sell crack. The no snitching didn't come from slavery, mass incarceration, and Jim Crow. It come out of this other shit. These three over here, they scored with the no snitching.
Yeah.
Facts.
So now a snitch is worse than a woman beater. A man that beats his wife.
But we don't even know what the definition of a snitch is anymore.
They ain't defined it. But a snitch is worse than a rapist.
Yeah, that's true.
I had a motherfucker tell me
That
if
is-
I was standing next to R. Kelly.
Hold the fuck up. Story time. Stop the show. I was in prison. Landed in a spot. We get there. And as a black man, one of the first things that they decide to ask other black men when they come in is, do you bang? So you constantly see black men running down on other black men about what kind of bandana you represent, which street you come from, and all this other nonsense. And while they're blowing each other's face open with razors, while they're beating each other to bloody pulps, there's offenders that are inside of the dorm with us that they're scared to touch. Oh, you're going to make the dorm hot if you touch him. Oh, we're going to get a new charge if we touch him. But wait a minute. You guys don't care about the new charge when it comes to cutting a guy that looks like you. You don't care that guy is your cousin and was at all of your family reunions, but simply because he's from the other side, he ain't your cousin no more. But the offender's fine. He's fine. He's cooking cakes for people. He got jobs around the dorm room, and everybody is scared to touch him. Everybody is scared to do anything. But when it comes to your own people, let somebody rat, let somebody tell, and somehow he is mistreated worse than the offenders. Like, if I'm willing to risk it on anything, it's about somebody touching a child. I think we should be willing to throw it away over that before we're willing to throw it away over anything else. At no circumstances can he stay here. We can make consideration for other brothers. We can't make no consideration for offenders, but we do. But the snitch ain't gonna last 10 minutes on that goddamn compound.
This is what a Mexican man said. If I was, and he said this on his platform. He said if I was standing next to R. Kelly, he would slap me because I'm a snitch. Then he would slap R. Kelly, the pedophile molester.
No way.
Said it on a public platform.
Did he really say that?
Yeah. So what done happened is now we've put this label off into the culture. So what happens to the little girl who got the street nigga stepdad? And he molested.
Mm-hmm.
She want to tell, but this is snitching.
Oh shit!
You don't want to be a snitch. You snitched on your uncle for touching him. You called the police. You got your uncle locked up. So now the snitching rule even protects the child molester in the home. It protects the nigga who beating up the mama in the house. You better not call.
Nah, this is too deep, man. No, this is facts. This is facts. And I never even thought about it. He's spitting bars right now. Little girls afraid to come out about what's happening to them because they don't want to be a snitch. Like, just think about that for a second. That is some real talk right there. Dude beating your mama up. You can't call police because now your friend's gonna know you as a snitch for calling the police on somebody that was beating your mama up. Like, what kind of newfangled world do we live in? And I believe it's only in Black American culture that you got to deal with this kind of nonsense. I can't think of another culture that functions like this. Like, if you are accused of touching children and you come from almost any other culture, your ass is grass. Your ass is grass. But somehow we accept them. But the snitches, those are the guys that we can't deal with. We got no tolerance for no snitching. Pedophile? Maybe we can deal with it.
Call the police because y'all live in the projects. You live in the hood. The police come to your house. Me and that motherfucker called the police on me, got me locked up. So now the snitching is in the household now. So now
babies.
the real abusers in the community get to have free reign over our communities now. The no snitching makes nigga, you breaking muddy in them house, nigga, you can't say nothing. You know who's told. You see a crime commit in her car, you can't say nothing. You know who.
Not only can you not say nothing about what's going on, You also can't go after the people who did it yourself, because now what they want you to do is go out there and risk your freedom. They want your children to grow up without a father in the household. They want you to possibly lose your life. Young men, you don't always come out on the winning side of a war. You run down on somebody, there's a strong chance that you may not be able to run away from that situation. But they want you to do that versus doing what regular civilians are supposed to do. And that's madness to me. And that's why the police don't care no more. The police patrol right outside of the hood. They patrol the borders to the better areas. That's what they do. They sit there and wait to see any kind of people who look like me driving anywhere in that vicinity with a beat up car, and they pulling them over. Now it's racial profiling. Now it's all of this other stuff. But we gave this image to ourselves. We gave this image to ourselves, and they will sit back and just watch us self-destruct. They don't care. The police think it's madness that they know for a fact that we know who touched somebody. We know. And no one will say nothing. That's crazy.
Killed her baby. She out there pleading, putting up signs. You know who done ran off with her daughter. You know where her daughter is. You know them niggas over there fucking her daughter. Got her high in the motherfucker. But her mama looking for her, but she can't say nothing.
Because that's snitching.
So the gangs get the gang rape. She just want to have sex with one of them. I want to be down with this gang. I want to have sex. I got to sleep with how many of y'all? Well, I do 2 of y'all. She end up have to do all of them. She can't say nothing, though. That's snitching.
This is facts.
Come on, homie. They don't want to talk about that. That's snitching.
I've seen a lot of people in the community, and it's funny, nobody want to admit it now, right? But it was a lot of people that protected R. Kelly first time.
Shit, they really want him out now.
You think so?
You got damn right. They want R. Kelly out. They want him out.
Man, people knew R. Kelly was guilty. And if you guys go check some of his shows, he was even making jokes about it. Like, gotta be 18 or older. He carrying signs when he doing his show. And if they just happen to pan in front of him so you guys can see the crowd is loaded with massive amounts of very adult black women. And they seem to not care what this guy was doing. And they still don't care about what this guy was doing. If he came back right now and started touring, I guarantee you that his shows would be packed out. Packed out. 6ix9ine the enemy, though. The rats are the enemy. But people like this are free to go. People like Aaliyah's mother. People like Aaliyah's mother. No one speaks on her. No one speaks on the fact that R. Kelly was smashing the mother and the daughter. No one speaks on it. No one is protesting her. There's no Me Too movement for her. No one seems to give a shit about any of that. But in that little kid's career from Philadelphia that they said told when he was 13 or 14 years old. Now, I'm not condoning people doing crime with other people and then telling on them. Hell no. Yeah, if you're willing to do crime with somebody, you should be willing to do the time with that person. You should not be able to throw that person under the bus just to be able to get less time on your sentence because now you're scared of jail. I think you should live with the consequences of what you chose. But we have to define what is snitching and what's not. We have to define what's an op and what's not. Because while you're busy chasing that brother around the community, there's somebody around the community that's touching children. And they're right underneath our nose. The same way you can study somebody's Instagram and Facebook and figure out where he at so you can slide on them. The way you looking in their backgrounds to figure out what kind of car they driving. Why don't you look on the sex offenders list and give them that same energy? But I might be asking for too much.
Well, man, motherfucker would shame me for that. But it's a whole movie belly with Nas and DMX and them motherfuckers.
And it's not just a movie, it's a hood classic.
Nobody got mad about that.
Whew. Woo, that boy was cooking. What a powerful conversation. Powerful conversation. Again, we need to redirect the energy. We need to put effort. Fresh out the streets, and I swear I did a whole lot for this shit. Fresh out my clicks, so I had to just stay grounded here for my clip. They dropped this beat, so I let 100 rounds go for my clip. And I'm a crusher, move like Usher, moving mountains out of this bitch. And I was there too, moving bows, clearing hot the cold like I was there flu. You could be a distance, I'm a menace, I'll be there too. two. Started with the one that elevated, now I'm tier two. I don't fear you niggas, if you want it, then I dare you too. They moving packs, but like a snail though. Yeah, low. Getting heavy racks, you niggas frail though. Yeah, low. Trapping, keep on bumping like it's braille, ho. Yeah, low. Fresh about the pack, you niggas stale though. Yeah, low. Smart, I'm thinking like I went to Yale though. Yeah, low. Team is full of winners, never fail though. Yeah, low. Bentley white on white, we call it pale though. Yeah, low. Smart, we never talking on these cell phones. Big low, where you been? I told them running up that heavy bag. Everything I whip in the garage, it come with heavy tags. Goal is just to keep the flow and you don't wanna let it lag. Low is high, keep my profile, but still they let me smash. Yeah, they like to enter in the game, but no, they never last. Limitless, but they got a ceiling that they'll never pass. Hit 124, I even just look at the dash. See ya out, blow a out, either way I'm about to blast. Get 'em low, get the perfect picture in the frame, no. Get 'em low, thought you was the man, you niggas lame, no. Get 'em low, they'll continue bringing what my name, no. Get 'em low, yeah, it's
You
past
already
money
know,
still.
niggas. It's already been proven that the food that they serve in public school, if not at the same
shit
level
is
of
jail
prison
food.
and jail food, and just right above dog food. School is really a daycare system for parents. That's why they say, "Oh, I can't wait for y'all to go back to school."
Oh, I'm sorry, but god damn, he cooking. All right, we back. And I know a lot of people who reacted to this particular video, they were going strictly for when Charleston White decided to back the blicky out when he was talking to DJU and all of that. And I get it, that's entertaining and all that other nonsense. But let's get to the powerful conversation that these two young brothers have. I'll post it right now. I gave a big shout out to DJU, gave him just some words of inspiration, because I don't think a lot of young men who come from the area that DJU comes from gets enough push. I don't think they get enough acknowledgement. I don't think they get enough drive from everybody else telling them that what they're doing is the right thing. So let's get into this. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's go.
DJ, you go crazy.
What is it about the black male that society fears the most? Because obviously society still fears the black male.
Well, they fear his retribution, homie. They fear that one day the black man is gonna rape women. They fear one because they see a nigga when he see the white woman and already told a nigga how the basketball is. They already see how the big nigga is with a white girl in a flick. They already see how the big black doing the flick. So this is what they're afraid of, homie. They ain't afraid of you niggas. They already know you don't have no. You don't have enough hate in your heart to kill white people. They're just afraid you're gonna rape and take and bully like you do when you're at the mall.
And what's odd is Farrakhan said this a long time ago, that the biggest fear is actually that black people will come into power and do the same thing to white people that white people have done to black people. Little do they know, black people don't really have it in their heart to be that kind of violent to other people. I don't know why we have it in us, or how we were brainwashed so badly to want to do bad to each other only. But it seems like that's all we want to do, because if they wanted that kind of smoke, if we wanted those kind of problems, we have the money, we have everything that we need to be able to retaliate, and we never did, because I don't think it's in us, and I don't think that we want to. So I think it's an unnecessary fear, if it is a fear.
Fearing that white man. Like you do them when they buy themselves at the bus. That's what they're afraid of. They wasn't afraid of your ancestors, really. They was afraid more of themselves than what they had done. But this group of white people are not afraid of black people because we're tougher. It's already been proven when the white boy go learn UFC fighting skills that he can beat the black man. They showed her that when we took Kimbo Slice and put him over there. They already showed. They showed her that with Deontay Wilder, with that other big Russian white boy. Whatever the fuck he is. So they're already showing us we're not afraid of you guys. We're afraid of what's in your hearts, because we believe if you guys ever get in power, you're so hateful hearted that you would be like the white slave masters. Remember the white man come in and take a black girl and take her away, and they go brutally rape her for hours. Remember the white man come get little Emmett Till because he whistled at a white woman, and two white men went and tortured him and beat him till he was.
Which turned out to be a complete lie. And when the woman came out and admitted that it was a pure lie, nothing still happened. Things like that bother me more than anything. Like sometimes we see the police brutality videos and all of that, and you see niggas just doing wild shit, like the dude who decided to jump out the car, run through a dark area, start reaching around his waist, police lit his ass up, and I'm supposed to sit here and protest over people doing dumb shit. But the cases like Emmett Till is the ones that truly bother me, because those are clear cases of racism.
That's what they're afraid of, that black people are like that now. And they are. They're not afraid of that you'll take over the banking system. You're not smart enough. They're not afraid that you'll take over the airports. You're not smart enough. They're afraid of your retribution of what's in your heart. You believe you've been done wrong, and you've never been done wrong by white people. Your parents done you wrong.
Ooh, teach.
Your parents.
Cook,
The condition that they birthed you in done you wrong.
So when you say we haven't been done wrong by white people, instead we've been done wrong by our parents. Can you elaborate on that part, please?
Where did you learn to read?
Man, just listen to DJU, like coming from, like, he makes me proud, man, coming from the area that he came from to want to ask these questions, because he could ask about all the shit. Bruh. He could interview about all the shit and negativity and drill music and all of that. He's trying to get answers as to how black people can fix themselves, and I think that's so fucking dope of him. So shout out to DJU.
Were you a kid when you got to the white boy public school system and the teacher said, who know how to read in kindergarten? Did you raise your hand and say, I know how to read? Or did the white school system teach you how to read? Who taught you how to do math and division and subtraction? Was it the white school system that the white man creates for the public school system? Or was it your black Negro parents? Where were you educated at? Because your ancestors couldn't, the white boy would not educate him. How is it that you've been educated by this white man school system? A, B, C. Who taught you that? Who taught you what you know past what you know? Was it your white school system, or was it your white boy's prison system? The books that he allowed to circulate in his prison system. Because when he get mad, he takes certain books out of circulation.
Yes,
Behold the Pale White Horse, The Black Man How to Eat by Elijah Muhammad. There's a ton of truly black power and inspirational books that we have that are completely banned out of the prison system. And I know I've been in the prison system multiple times. What? There are certain books that they will not allow people to read because they know that it will wake them up. It knows it will get them to begin questioning things, beginning to revolt. It'll stop them from going after each other. So this is a stone cold fact.
So the knowledge that the white man allowed you to share and read in his prison system, where else did you get your knowledge? Since the white man is so bad.
Oh shit.
When it's time to go to the doctor, where are you going? Your grandpappy's pappies didn't have the white boy medical system. So how's the white man so goddamn bad? How? How is he bad, man?
So this is what we talked about last time, right? My thing, I'll be all the way with you until this point, right? So I feel like
and we can stop right there, and that's the problem. You feel like that's not the truth, though. Like, that's why when Kanye said that slavery was a choice, I agreed with him and did a video on it, because no one tells you that you can't homeschool your children. No one tells you that you have to follow the food pyramid that they give you at school. No one tells you to eat McDonald's. No one tells you to have your kids on a fast food diet. No one tells you to put yourself on a fast food diet. No one tells you to drink the alcohol, wake up and crack a beer. No one tells you guys to behave like this. This is completely black people's decisions, and our bad decision making has led to us having some of the worst generations of children that we have ever seen. The most disrespectful, the most violent. And this all came from the miseducation of young black men that have now taken over the community, and everyone is so scared of them that it's hard to stop the violence when you're scared of the people being violent. That is 100% a us thing. That's not a them thing. Now, can I say, if we go back far enough, that white folks is the ones who started this? Yes, we could do that. But are we talking about today? Are we talking about the last 100 years or so? No, that was our parents being disobedient to their grandparents and trying to live an opposite life of the way that our grandparents lived, even though the way that our grandparents lived built Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had the Hope movement in Philadelphia. We had another movement in Chicago. We had another one in Florida. We had plenty of movements during segregation, during Jim Crow, when we did our best. And that's because we stuck together. And that's because we had families, we had fathers. When that was removed by our choices, now we suffer the consequences of it.
We was obviously taught through the white man learning system, however you word it, but I feel like they didn't teach us what we were supposed to learn.
They're not supposed to. They're supposed to keep you dumb like your mama and them dumb, because your parents are supposed to teach you. Indoctrination starts in the classroom, and everybody know that. Everybody know when your black parents dress you up with them pretty clothes, them Michael Jordan tennis shoes at the first of the school year and send you off to school, you are going to be miseducated. The miseducation of the Negro by Carter. That's what I'm saying. So we've already been told that this school system miseducated us. Why aren't your parents preparing you for school? Teach. Because when my child, before they got even to the world, I was reading to the belly.
Facts. Same here. The music that I played for my daughter when she was inside of her mother, I used to take the headphones and play relaxing music in the headphones on her belly all day. I used to read to her in the belly. I would speak to her in the belly all day. And my daughter is super advanced compared to the other 2-year-olds that are around, because I took that time out to be able to invest into her. And that's what we all need to do. We need to homeschool. That's why I'm so big on homeschooling your children, because 90% of the shit they teach you in school, you will never use again. Before my child, I'll let this continue.
When that baby was in the room, boy, I was reading to Miho in the belly. So I noticed when he came out, nigga, he was way advanced than other kids. Nigga, I was reading to him when he was in the belly. He was hearing music in the belly. I was already cultivating the kid in the belly, the womb of the woman. So I wasn't going to rely on the school system. So when he got to school, he wasn't interested in school at all. And I told him, listen, son, school is just a white man game and it's ran good. Learn how to socialize. I don't care about an F. I don't care about a D. Don't, because your citizenship, your behavior means everything to me at school, nigga. Everything. I taught my son into dropping out, nigga, in the 7th grade. Life taught him he needed to get back in school. I told him, nigga, ain't nothing wrong with being a dumb mechanic. Do you know how to read, write, add, and subtract? That's all your ancestors knew how to do. Fuck school. But you end up graduating. He didn't learn shit at school. Nigga, he was taught at home. When he got in trouble, I gave him books to read. When he got in trouble, I gave him books that I wanted him to read and write me a report, nigga. See, at first, when he was in pre-K and kindergarten, I started out real disciplined, real hard for making behavior, wrong choices. I didn't give a fuck about that white boy education. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that white boy testing methods and what his grades say. No, man. All I care about is how you behave, nigga. Because your behavior is a reflection of you, not that white boy book system. You go forget everything he teaching you.
Facts.
So that's what I'm saying, nigga. So,
and that's why they come out with shows like, are you smarter than a 5th grader? Are you smarter than a 4th grader? Because they know that once you're an adult and you leave those learning facilities, none of that shit that they taught you is dope enough that you have to carry it into the future. Unless you're going to be an architect and you need to know geometry and these other kinds of math, then most of these things will never play a factor in your life ever again. Never. We don't remember 90% of the shit that they taught us in school outside of reading, writing, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, just the basics. And those basics get you the fundamental knowledge that you need to go into any field that you want to afterwards. That's why I say that we should homeschool, then send our kids to trade school. After trade school, we could get them into any field that we need to go. And those jobs are pandemic proof. And they're the highest paying jobs that you get out of trade school. Or you could go to college, wind up $80,000 in debt and overqualified to work in the field that you got your degree in. Your choice.
How can you blame the white man for not teaching you? He ain't supposed to teach you. Black folks is supposed to teach you. You're really supposed to be homeschooled.
Teach.
But don't nobody love you enough or love your education. I'm not going to say that. Don't nobody love or value your education enough to homeschool you. They love you to death, but they don't value education enough to homeschool you. And plus, it's a comfort. It's an inconvenience. It's a sacrifice that a parent has to make to wake up every day and homeschool and teach their own kids to where it's a benefit of their educational system. Most parents will throw the towel in. School is really a daycare system for parents. Oh, I can't wait for y'all to go back to school.
Oh, I'm sorry, but god damn he cooking. God damn he cooking. It's a 12-year babysitting program. A 12-year babysitting program where they keep your child for 13 years, actually, pre-K to 12th grade, 13 years of just being babysat. You just sit in this classroom and listen to this boring ass information that has nothing to do with what you actually have your mind on. There's no reason there's no barbershop classes in our middle and high schools. There's no reason that we don't have no technology classes. There's no reason that we don't have a way for kids to be able to venture off and get into their trades early. Instead, they want to keep you in a babysitting program. And most parents do not want to take the time out. Yo, and I'm not going to lie to you. It sucks waking up every morning and having to homeschool my son. It gets a little frustrating when you can see his attention span starting to waver a little bit. And on those days, I just cut him a break where the school won't cut him a break. So I know some days his mind just ain't there. I know some days he's just tired. I know some days I've worked him so hard over the last 3 days that I got to give him a break. The school doesn't see it the same way.
Bang,
you can't retain
bang,
information
bang,
when it's getting beat into you every day. You need a couple of days to detox and actually process the information. So I might teach him something for 2 or 3 days straight, and then we'll do hands-on for 2 or 3 days straight. Then I'll go back to teaching for 2 or 3 days straight, and then we hands-on for 2 or 3 days straight. That's the way that it needs to be done. But since I homeschool, I have the ability to control the curriculum for my children. And I think that we all need to do that. And then we can stop complaining and we can really, because the Jews send their kids to the Hebrew Academy where they learn the real shit. They're not learning the same thing you're learning in your public high schools. They're not learning the same things you're learning in your middle schools. That's why they're so advanced, because they basically homeschool their children by giving them the curriculum that they want. Facts. He's cooking.
I can't wait for y'all because it's really a daycare system. So I'm saying if black people think white folks so bad, why you not educating your own kids? Why you let them go from pre-K to the 12th grade, getting that white boy food school? You already know, niggas, it's already been proven that the food that they serve in public school, if not at the same level of prison and jail food, and just right above dog food.
The same companies that deliver the food to the prisons are the same companies that deliver the food to your schools. And there's a direct correlation between what you eat and the way you think. Show me an area where the food is terrible, and I'll show you an area with some of the most violent and crazy people that you're going to find. Show me an area where the food is healthier, where they're raising their own chickens, where they have their own cows, where they have their own goats, where they're growing their own foods. And I'll show you a much healthier environment. Take India, for instance, where they have people growing their own food. Fine. Check during the pandemic. Most of the places in Africa that didn't have access to hospitals and everything suffered from it the least. You know why? Because food. It's something we leave out so often. And just because I'm vegan, sometimes I'm iffy on teaching about food because most people are thinking that I'm just trying to convert them into being vegan. I'm not one of those kind of guys. I'm not going to be standing in front of McDonald's saying that eating a burger is slavery. I'm not going to be one of those guys. But I know that if you want to damage your people, you damage them with the food. Something that they can't go without. You damage them with the water. And the schools don't teach you this.
But your kids don't never pack a lunch. Man, y'all miss me with that shit, homie. Y'all nigga motherfuckers just be talking. And play rap music the whole time to the school.
Ooh.
What? And wake the kids up saying, get y'all ass up. Woo. I'm running, come on, waking up, fussing and hollering.
Ever since my son was a baby, I'd sit next to him and I'd be like, hey, Mr. Boss Baby. Hey, Mr. Boss Baby, you got to get up and go to work, because he loved Boss Baby. And I'm like, you see how much Boss Baby work? You see the suits that he likes to wear? You see the suitcase? You see him waking up to get to work? I need you to have that same kind of work ethic. So he wakes up with a smile. He wakes up ready to go. And then I give him a little bit of time to sit back and just let the wake up soak in. You can't do that if you're running late and got to get your kids off to school. You don't have that same luxury. And this is why homeschooling is so important.
Not waking, hey, y'all, come on, breathing life. So, man, don't tell me about what's fucking us up, nigga, when we know everything that's been harming us, but we ain't doing nothing to counter it. We got all these books, the message, we got all this information when we was Hebrew. Why we ain't got no counter to attack the war on us then? Why we got drill music? Why niggas still kid? Why we ain't got one nigga?
My son has no idea what drill music is. My son has no idea who most of the ignorant rappers are. And at some points I feel bad because if he was around other kids, he may not be able to process the information that they're trying to give him. But I'm also glad that he can't process the information that they're trying to give him because most of it is ignorance. And I'm going to stop it right there because after that, he started going a little bit crazy and I'm going to have to edit out so much of it that you guys aren't even going to be able to hear the conversation. But you guys can go over to DJU and watch the rest of this interview. It was super powerful. If you have the ability, if you're in a 2-parent household, fresh out the streets, and I swear I did a whole lot for this shit. Fresh out my cleats, so I had to just stay grounded here for my clip. They dropped this beat, so I let 100 rounds go for my clip. And I'ma crush ya, move like Usher, moving mountains out of this bitch. And I was there too, moving bows, clearing hot the cold like I was there flu. You could be a distance, I'm a menace, I'll be there too. Started with the one that elevated, now I'm tier 2. I don't fear you niggas, if you want it, then I dare you too. They moving packs, but like a snail though. Yeah, low. Getting heavy racks, you niggas frail though. Yeah, low. Traffic keep on bumping like it's braille, ho. Yeah, low. Fresh about the pack, you niggas stale though. Yeah, low. Smart, I'm thinking like I went to Yale though. Yeah, low. Team is full of winners, never fail though. Yeah, low. Bentley white on white, we call it pale though. Yeah, low. Smart, we never talking on these cell phones. Big low, where you been? I told them running up that heavy bag. Everything I whip in the garage, it come with heavy tags. Goal is just to keep the flowing, you don't wanna let it lag. Low is high, keep my profile, but still they let me smash. Yeah, they like to enter in the game, but no, they never last. Limitless, but they got a ceiling that they'll never pass. Hit 124, I even just look at the dash. See ya out, blow a out, either way I'm about to blast. Get them low, get the perfect picture in the frame, no. Get them low, thought you was me because that shit hits them here. The youth like listening to me because not only do I state the problems, I always have solutions for the problems. I'm never going to come here and be Mr. Complain a lot. I'm never going to be here and be telling you about how the white man holding us down and how this is holding us back and all of that. I don't accept excuses when it comes to f***ing men. I'm sick of all the excuses that comes from men. Now all of a sudden the new that's trending is, oh, childhood trauma, and he had this happen to him when he was younger, and his mom yelled at him, and his dad beat him one time. Shut the f*** up. Shut up with that childhood trauma. You've had 20 plus years to get over that. You've had 20 plus years to reconcile the differences with you and your mother. You've had 20 plus years to reach out to your father to fix them problems. You've had 20 plus years to fix the problem with your brother and your sister, to deal with the fact that you might have been adopted or whatever the f was wrong with you. You've had so long to get over that. You know what makes me mad? Is that the same is that harbor these problems is the same is that tell a girl to get over it. Y'all the same is that argue with your girl and tell her, yo, why you still talking about that? Why you always bringing up old? You want to ask her why she bringing up old. But the reason you f***ed up is because of childhood trauma. We talking about men here. We ain't talking about no little ass boys. We talking about men here. You dealing with depression because you went through in the past, but you're going to tell your girl to get over that argument tomorrow. If your girl wake up with an attitude tomorrow, I swear to God, you will be on Facebook making 100 posts on how your girl be tripping and she won't let shit go, but she's still dealing with childhood issues. And coming from a nigga like me, hearing about childhood issues, the nigga put up for adoption at 3, the nigga that ran away and been on his own since the age of 13, the nigga who was shot, paralyzed, and sent to prison the exact same year, the nigga who was only home for 6 months and went right back to prison the same exact year. You talking to me about childhood trauma? The man taken away from his mother and father and put into foster care at 3 years old? The nigga who wasn't able to meet his brothers and sisters until we was teenagers? The nigga who didn't meet back up with his moms until he was a teenager? You want to tell me about nigga, if I could get over that shit, then damn it, you could get over any fucking thing that's wrong with you. Some of y'all mad that your mother fucked you up when you was younger, but you deserve to be fucked up when you was younger. Some of y'all mad at y'all father because he left, and you don't even know that the reason he left is because your mother was unruly. Your mother wouldn't allow him to be a man, so he fucking left. And after he left, now you holding grudges, and I ain't have no father around, and no one was able to teach you. You could get on YouTube to find out what happened with NBA YoungBoy. You could get on YouTube to find out what happened to Kodak Black. You could get on YouTube to find out where 6ix9ine at. You could get on YouTube to find out what nigga just got caught slipping. You could get on World Star to be able to find out who was just fighting and who was doing all of this shit. But you can't get on the fucking internet to find good male leadership. You can't get on the internet to find good information coming from men. You can't get on the internet and listen to Kevin Samuels' old videos. All of y'all on Kevin Samuels' page now, listening to him talk to the women. Y'all ain't got the heart to take what he was saying to the men. You ain't have the heart to listen to him when he was telling niggas that they was fat and sloppy. You ain't have the heart to listen to Kevin Samuels when he told niggas you might have to cut your hair to be able to get inside of the corporate offices and become these millionaires that y'all want to be. Y'all didn't want to listen to Kevin Samuels when he was telling you that the shoes that men need to own. You wasn't listening to Kevin Samuels when he was telling you to get over them fucking problems. But you want to listen to everything that Kevin Samuels got to say when it comes to women. He talks to men too. He talks to men too. Y'all don't want to go back and listen to them old Kevin Samuels videos when he was talking about the men. Y'all only want to hear him talk about the women. Half the niggas complaining about women, the only reason you complaining is because you're an unproductive fucking male, and women don't give you the respect that you see them give niggas that's more productive than you. I'ma just be 100. A lot of the niggas complaining about women don't deserve to be complaining about women because you're broke, dusty, and have no leadership skills. Just because I had a little childhood trauma, or just because my daddy wasn't around, or just because my mommy was being mean to me when I was a little boy, and now I'm 30 and I'm still mad at my mom for being mean to me when I was a little. Shut the fuck up. Childhood trauma. That shit shouldn't even feel right leaving you men's mouth. Shouldn't even feel right leaving your fucking mouth. Childhood trauma. Have any of you niggas ever text a girl in the morning and was like, hey, how you doing? And she just starts going over what the fuck is wrong with her life. Nigga, you don't want to hear that shit. So what the fuck make you think she want to hear that shit from you? What in the fuck make you think that she want to hear about your childhood trauma when you know you don't want to hear about her childhood trauma? Be 100, man. Stand up and accept that shit. That you don't want to hear that shit when it comes to her. You don't appreciate when she come home and unload on you about her day, telling you how her boss ain't shit and the problem she having with the women who work at her job and all this other bullshit. You niggas is unproductive men. It has nothing to do with being depressed. It has nothing to do with all of that other bullshit. Childhood trauma, my ass. You haven't found a way to become a productive male in society. And the reason that you're complaining about women, the reason you saying that these women don't respect you, the reason that you saying that these women is tripping, because I'm going to be 100. To real niggas, those women don't even fucking exist. They don't even exist. They are invisible to real men. What? Those women are invisible to real niggas. We get respect. We earn that leadership role. We don't have to hear nothing about what the fuck we doing. It's you niggas that they don't trust the judgment of. Because you haven't earned it. But it's the women's fault. It's the women's fault. You knew Thought Keisha from around the corner wasn't shit. Nobody told you to shoot the club up and have a baby with her. Don't get on fucking Facebook complaining that your baby mama ain't shit when you slept with Thought Keisha from around the corner. You shot up the club with Thought Keisha. Now all of a sudden you want to come back to us and tell us that your baby mama is fucking tripping. First off, why the fuck you got a baby mama? First off, why the fuck you got a baby mama? You couldn't vet women good enough to know who to have kids with and who not to have kids with. You didn't have enough discipline to not shoot the club up. You didn't have enough discipline in yourself to not knock up that Keisha. But you want to come to me and I'm supposed to feel sorry that your baby mama tripping? After you done had a baby with banana cream pie, now all of a sudden you want to come and tell me banana cream pie be tripping. Banana cream pie be tripping. Fuck out of here with that shit. I don't want to hear that. This is why the youth don't fuck with the older generation. They see that they tougher than most of the old niggas. Most of the old niggas is out here still simping. But then you want to complain to me that Thought Keisha tripping. You want to complain to me that one of Thought Keisha's fucking baby fathers just threatened you. Now you want to hit me up, talk about, yo, bro, we need to grit. We got to ride out on this nigga. This nigga talking crazy. Yo, bro, who the fuck is you talking about? Oh, Thought Keisha, other baby father. This nigga want to hit me up, talk about, bruh. You a strong, productive Man, what the fuck you doing taking this girl with all these goddamn kids? That's play. You really tried to wife that up? Never try to bring a stray cat in your home. It will always want to go back outside. I'ma repeat that, men. Never bring a stray cat into your home because that cat will need to go back out to the streets eventually because that's where the fuck that cat belongs. That's not Keisha. But y'all love them. Y'all love them. Y'all simping on their Instagram posts. You got the heart emojis and the heart eyes underneath her shit. And you in all of her stories and all of that other shit. Fuck out of here with that. It's men like you that cause these problems. It's men like you who give women the bravery to have a bunch of kids by a bunch of niggas and then say they won't accept a regular man. That's because niggas like you will still give them penis at the end of the day. I swear to God, I had a girl tell me earlier that I was mad and intimidated because I didn't want a thought. I can't make this up to you. She said I'm intimidated by thoughts because I don't want one. Just let that sink in. Just let that sink in for a second. First of all, these ratchet bitches don't have no access to real niggas. What the fuck are you talking about? Y'all single men be out here chasing these girls left and right, just trying to get buns and all of that. Don't nothing feel better than a $2,000 phone call. Don't nothing feel better than that email that you get in the morning that says you got money and it's an order from your website. Don't nothing feel better than you dropping a YouTube video last night and the money start racking up the next day by the time that you check it. Don't nothing feel better than cashing out on that. Don't nothing feel better than having a conversation with your homie about an investment plan that's going to cost upwards of $200,000. Don't nothing feel better than calling your homies and talking about these properties that you want. Ain't nothing more gangster than that. Don't nothing feel better than that. You niggas have no purpose. You have to find as much pleasure in your purpose as you find and knocking up these fucking thought-ass women out here. Because we keep on blaming the women for the single-parent households out here. But when are we going to hold the men accountable for not having enough dick discipline to not knock these women up and create the single mothers out here? We have to hold men accountable for doing that shit. And it's their sons that are out here missing all of their targets and shooting your aunt and shooting your grandmother that was cooking in the kitchen and hitting your 7-year-old kid while they up the street. That's Pookie and Ray Ray and them kids. That's little John and them kids. And we don't hold none of them niggas accountable for spreading single parent households out here. Yes, the women have to be held accountable because they chose to have babies with these niggas. But God damn it, we got to say something to the men too. And if no one out here teaches these young men dick discipline, if we don't teach them to find their pleasure and mastering their craft, if we don't teach the young men to find their pleasure and doing things that make you more masculine, then they will continue to do the effeminate shit that they've been doing. You'll see more niggas with purses. You'll see more niggas with these handbags. You'll see more niggas. Soon they're gonna have thigh-high fucking boots for niggas. Somebody's probably gonna post that they already got them and I'm fucking late. That's going to be the next move. They're going to have thigh highs for niggas. You want to know what happens when a man isn't man enough to take over his fucking household? You get strong men like Will Smith and weak-ass children like Jaden Smith. And then what does Will have to say? I gave my children too much freedom. No, you wasn't being a fucking man. You wasn't standing on that shit that you be teaching. You wasn't standing on that shit that you live by. You out here being a motivational speaker, being harsh on all the niggas for being failures out here. And then you turn around and let your fucking son do what he want to because your wife run your fucking life. That's facts. That's facts. And we can do without them niggas. We can do without them niggas making children out here. And that's why I want the good men out here to wife up the good women out here so they'll wind up getting tricked by Pookie. Because Pookie looked interesting online. Pookie just took the picture with the racks. Pookie just took the picture in front of the Phantom. Pookie be out in Miami. Pookie be out in California. Pookie be out here with all the... So Pookie looking kind of interesting. But we got to get the good men to wife these good women up so they're not even on the market to be fucked up no more. And whoever is left belong to the fucking streets. It's that simple.
Weed out the good women, find them and sit your ass down somewhere. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. None of my niggas was real enough to tell me that I had a fuck nigga in my corner. None of my niggas was real enough to tell me that the way I was moving was fucked up. None of my niggas was real enough to tell me that the reason that I wasn't making the level of money that I needed to is because I was around the wrong circle. It took my woman to say that shit. It took my woman to point out that that nigga's a fuck ass nigga. It took my woman to point out that you don't need to be focusing on that because apparently the money's here because that's where the income is coming from. She's my most trusted fucking advisor. And you niggas don't have that. You niggas don't have that. You niggas don't have that. I'm telling you the importance of having a woman as a man. I'm going to tell you that you work hard as a man, but you work 10 times harder when you got a woman depending on you. When you see a woman scrolling through the internet, looking at them red bottoms, something in you tells you that you have to become a better provider to be able to get her the things that she likes and that she wants. When you see her saying that, hey, man, we've been together 4 or 5 years. It's time to get a vacation in. You better be able to afford that vacation. You better be able to answer that fucking call. And I'm going to tell you, every time that you answer that call, every time you're able to answer and man up for the things that you stand on, I promise you, you become 10 times more of a man. You want to talk about walk around beating your chest like you King Kong? Imagine when your Christmas shopping is done months early. Imagine when rent is all caught up for the rest of the year and y'all could go all the way into New Year's just fucking chilling. Fucking chilling. Imagine when everybody at the fucking stores know exactly who your wife is because you do that much shopping on your behalf. On your behalf. So you got to feel good when you go in the store and they finally like, oh, here's the man of the hour. We always see the wife. We always see the kids. Where the hell do you be? I be out being a productive fucking man so y'all can see her more. I'm out trying to learn another business venture so y'all can see her more. I'm out trying to run this bag up so I can show my son how to get to this. My son is already on timing. My son don't play no games. That nigga is a spitting fucking image of me. We walk through the store. That nigga got liability, liability, liability. That could be an asset if you do it right. Liability. What are children? Liabilities. If you have children before you are of age to be able to afford children, what is it? A liability. How do you turn your child into an asset? By harnessing his talents and using it to make family income. That's the type of shit that my 8-year-old be on, and you grown ass men are still out here worried about what NBA YoungBoy doing. Y'all still know everything about Kodak.